When Alex and I got together and, I sent him that email I told you about.
Yeah.
And my last line was 0 hour is upon us.
So just for people who weren't at breakfast here.
Yeah.
You said that you saw something he did and you just emailed him cold.
I did. I said, hi, Alex. I'm a fan for years. Perhaps you've heard of me. My name's Charlie Sheen. I said, we have to talk. 0 hour is upon us. And he called in 10 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then flew out to see you.
Yeah. And then we thought, okay, let's build a secret weapon. Let's do something that is unique and let's do something in the media. Let's use the media to try to, I guess this would have been 07, 08.
Yes.
So we got together and we wrote this piece called 20 Minutes with the President. And what it was a fictional retelling of this 20 minutes that I was granted by Obama. And it was me sitting down with him, asking him 20 questions about 9/11. And asking him that based on these the irrefutable bullet points that if he would consider activating, reopening a new 9/11 commission, and we put it online.
But you didn't actually get 20 minutes with Obama to ask.
No, it was all made up. But the research that Alex and I dug into that we because we could have been 100. It could have been 100 questions. Could have been 100 minutes with the president, and we drilled down into the 20 things that were really bulletproof. And so we published it online, and we let it kind of marinate for about 20 minutes. Before we added the following has not didn't actually take place, but we're hoping one day that it could, or that it might. Or so we did let kind of the hysteria build a little bit, that people thought, holy hell, man, did Sheen and Obama, like this thing actually happened, and because we didn't want to prejudice it with it being a work of fiction right from send. And it was a little bit of a manipulation, but so what? Right? I mean,
did anyone from the Obama White House reach out to you?
There's a guy, he was the deputy press secretary. His name was Bill something.
Bill Burton?
Yes. Yeah, he called me.
I got the memory.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I knew his name was the same two initials. Yeah, he called me. And I said, how's it? Hey, thank you. And he's like, yeah, that thing that you and your buddy wrote, that meeting you're looking for, never going to happen. Those were his words. Never going to happen. I said, well, that's a shame, because it really should. He said, okay, all right, good luck to you. Have a nice day. It was like a 14-second phone call. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, and I guess... And then Alex said, look, when this thing goes out, they're not going to debate any of it. Because we told, it was Bill O'Reilly, it was Geraldo Rivera. We said, we'll sit down and debate you just on these 20 things. And nobody bit. And Alex said, look, they're just going to call you.
Nobody bit?
No. Nobody took the challenge.
And you're at the height of the show's popularity.
Yeah. Nobody took the debate challenge.
You're one of the most famous actors in the world,
right.
And you're offering talk show hosts the opportunity to be on their show,
right,
to talk about something that is really interesting and controversial, and they say no?
They said no, yeah.
What do you think? Now, what do you think that is, Charlie Sheen? That's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
Having been in the talk show business, I can promise you.
Yeah. It was.
Well, you should have called me, man. I would have done it in a second.
Yeah, well.
Probably scolded you for your ridiculous questions, but I still would have done it.
Right. Yeah. Are disrespecting the memory of the victims. Yeah. How dare we?
Finding out why they were murdered is disrespect.
Right. Wow.
No, I know it's insane. And I always force myself to admit that I had these views because I want to be less judgmental toward other people, and reminding yourself what an asshole you are is a really good way to be less judgmental. but also because it's a feature of human nature that we don't want to know the truth about things, actually.
Interesting.
Don't you think that's true? Well, it's clearly not true for you, but it has been true for me. I don't want to know.
Right.
I don't want to know that.
What do we then do with that information?
Trust me, I'm not defending that attitude at all. I'm ashamed that I had it, but I just think it's more calm. And I think of myself as like one of the most open-minded people I know. I mean, I am very, very open-minded. I'll entertain any possibility because I've seen so much that you can't not entertain any possibility.
Right.
But if I have felt that way, that means that it's probably just how people are built, and you have to convince them that they should know what's true.
Sure.
That the truth does matter, actually.
It does. But Alex said they're just going to paint you as crazy.
Well, of course.
But and I said, really? That's like they can't get more creative than that? He says, no, they're just going to call you crazy. And smash cut to like a week later, and it was literally Bill O'Reilly and it was Geraldo, and they just dismissed me in one sentence. Well, Charlie Sheen's obviously crazy.
No.
Yeah.
We just did 9/11 doc, and it was an amazing experience for me to be involved in this because I not only bought the 9/11 story, I was very resistant to anyone who questioned it because it felt like disrespectful or desecrating the grave. I don't know why I had that incredibly embarrassing, not at all noble reaction to people's honest questions about 9/11. So it took me a long time to want to rethink it. And then once you do, you realize like it's just a tissue of lies. At what point did you start asking questions about it?
04, 05, whenever Loose Change dropped.
Yeah.
That was the first. Well, no, actually on the day.
Really?
On the day. Yeah, there were things, Emilio and I had because everybody like rushed to Malibu. We were like in the city. I was in a high rise. I didn't know how far this thing reached. Like everybody just had to get back to the folks' house. Like, let's reassemble at base camp, And Emilio and I were out on the deck, and I said, man.
At your parents'.
Yeah. And I said, there's something about the way that building came down. I don't know. And by that point we had seen different angles of it, and it was really, there was a lot of content to digest, horrific content, might I add. And we just, and then I just thought, nah, because that would entail,
of course, right,
all of these things.
You just shut it down in your head.
We talked each other out of it because that would entail. Right.
It's interesting though that two guys in the business of like manufacturing images,
right, would
focus on that image and say that there's something about that that's weird,
right. And so I kind of just let it, just didn't go near it.
Yeah.
And then, it led to what it led to. The whole world was different. The whole world was different.
It's never returned to what it was.
No, it really hasn't. No, there's pre and there's post.
Yes.
And then I watched that documentary. I'd been, a fan of Alex's early stuff, and that's, just him.
So you knew who he was by 9/11?
Yeah.
How did I? He's my friend. I would mean no disrespect. I love him. He's coming here in a month, but I'd never heard of Alex Jones on 9/11. And I was in the news business. I don't know. How would you have heard of him? That's amazing.
Just, spending time like in those, on those research channels just in that part of those subjects,
It's interesting that you have long felt like you want to look at other sources of information.
Of course. Yeah. I've always done my own research, always. And then,
do you know other people? Did you know other people around 9/11 who already were thinking like this? Like maybe reality as presented to us is not entirely real.
People would believe things only so far.
Yes.
And so I would back off and I say, you know what? We're just gonna focus on two things. We're just two things. And if you can explain those, I'll submit to the official story. I'll just say, all right, fine. However you say it had to play out, I'm in, right? And it was.
But explain these anomalies
first. It was Building 7 in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Just help me out there. I've got to believe that the Pentagon is the most protected and documented, video protected, surveilled building in the history of the known universe, right?
Turns out not.
Well, I'm saying
I think we just have two videos from the parking
kiosk. Yeah. So that's the thing, and then
that is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Building 7, it's just you just can't. You can't watch that and say that is the result of a fire that burned for 5 hours on 2 floors. You can't sell that to me. And that for years that was always met with, that is disrespecting the victims. And I'm like, how? How is that disrespecting the fallen heroes? How? If you're just looking for the truth behind what is clearly not how it was explained. Clearly. I mean, a 3-year-old could look at that and know, that looked like that hotel in Vegas that we watched them bring down intentionally, So that's how I met Alex. Was reaching out.
Trust your eyes. You've always trusted your own perceptions.
Yeah. But I did this in the middle of 2.5 at its peak, decided to be vocal about 9/11. Network in the studio, they were like, oh my gosh, there's actually a commercial, because one of the advantages we had with that show promotionally was the NFL. Because we were a Monday show, all of Sunday, all the CBS football games on Sunday were just, every 20 minutes it's a commercial for us. And that is like a built-in thing to keep the ratings and the momentum in the eyes and all of it. Yeah, and it was great. It was the best tool you could possibly have. So they made a commercial, like a promo, and it's probably on YouTube somewhere. Someone out there is going to find it, right? And it opens with, Charlie has a lot of questions. And then my character would be, hey, Alan, where'd you hide the beer? Hey, Mom, where'd I leave my car? Charlie's really curious. Hey, is that a silk bra or is that polyester? Whatever, like actual lines from the show to support Charlie's curiosity. Charlie Harper, right?
Yeah.
But Charlie in the world, like going into places that on a corporate level with a giant hit show, your lead actor is not supposed to be doing. So they tried to make it kind of like, hey, he's doing these things, but don't worry, he's still in our world doing them, it was kind of a brilliant piece of propaganda if you think about it. Right?
I was just thinking that it's a judo move. You take the energy and you pull it in your direction.
Right. Yeah. And I remember watching it and I was flattered that they put all that energy into this thing that I'm sure was upsetting a lot of people. And I never saw it again.
Did they ever say anything to you directly about your questions about 9/11?
Kind of, but not really. Things like, maybe it's not the best time to be doing this kind of research, kid. Maybe, take a little pause for the cause. It was, yeah, they didn't show up at my house,
right? Like
they did for going crazy on dope or testosterone. But yeah, they were nervous, and I did pull it back. I did organize a symposium in LA though. It's a 3-day event called A Weekend of Truth. Alex Jones was the key speaker in the middle of 2.5.
Seriously?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you feel that your job was at risk by doing that?
I thought the other stuff was more important than my job.
Really?
Yeah. No,
How many lead actors on hit shows put anything above their job?
Cult of One?
Yeah, none. None.
Well, my dad has at times gone heavily against the grain in the face of, the same type of pressure.
Yes.